This is the Solo Coach podcast, where it's all about everything you need to build your business solo. Look, building a business alone can feel almost impossible. There's just so much to get done. That's just your doubt talking. I'm Michelle Sarah, and I'm here to talk you through building a one-woman coaching business from the ground up. I'm talking marketing, time-saving systems, AI shortcuts, client attraction, energy, and belief, all to help you find your way, no matter your age, stage, or starting point. Ready? Let's get going. How to shift your energy and attract more clients in just 7 minutes a day. Most people ignore the real problem when there's a problem. Here's how fixing your energy state can fix everything. If you're feeling discouraged, heavy, or like everything you do in business is met with invisible resistance, you're not doomed, you're not bad at this, and you're certainly not failing. You probably just need to shift your vibe, literally. So it's the energy you bring, and it frames everything. And look, I know that that's making it sound easy or simple. And while on one hand, it can be, being a human being is not easy or simple. So I recognize that it's not just a matter of be happy, right? Even though it kind of is, but again, we're humans. So this is where I talk about the 7-minute shift. It's a daily energy clearing process I created to move through fear, doubt, and stuckness fast. We shift your energy through this simple process that, as the name says, can take 7 minutes or less. So you start actually seeing results, you start attracting more clients, getting more money, more clarity, all the good things that you want in your life and business. And yes, you can do it in about 7 minutes. You can actually do this a whole lot faster. The more you practice it, you get faster and faster at it. Let's talk about why your emotional state affects the results you experience. So manifestation techniques, aka influencing how you experience your reality, aren't about forcing outcomes. It's about becoming the person who naturally attracts them or sees them. And that starts with your emotional energy. When you're carrying frustration, discouragement, or, what's the point energy, we've all been there, you're pushing away opportunities without even realizing it. And your brain makes you blind to them. Like a radio stuck between stations, you can't clearly tune in, you can't get that precise frequency where your success already exists. The good news, though, emotions are movable. You don't have to stay where you are. You can shift your energy and your results in just a few minutes a day. So step 1 is to identify what's weighing you down. First, check in with yourself. What's the heaviest feeling you're carrying today? And this isn't necessarily, you can do this even if you're having a really positive, great day. You can do this as a means of practice and just further refining your own energy and staying at that higher vibration. But this is particularly useful if you are finding yourself in a negative state or a state of frustration. So you want to identify what that feeling is specifically. So be brutally honest. Maybe it's irritation because a client or potential client ghosted you. Maybe it's panic about money. Maybe it's frustration around knowing that you need to be more visible, but you just can't get yourself there, right? You're experiencing a lot of resistance around it. Maybe it's a feeling that you should be further along in your business by now. And so this is not necessarily a fact. It's really more of a case of comparison, right? Struggling because you're comparing yourself to others and unrealistic expectation. So step 2 is to find the hidden story behind it. Once you know the emotion, ask yourself, what story am I believing to be true that's making me feel this way? Get really specific. It may take you a little while, a few tries to pinpoint this. Okay, this takes a little bit of practice, but once you do it a few times, you get better and better at it. So maybe your brain is whispering, nobody wants what I have, or I'm not good enough to sell anything. Drag the ugly assumptions into the light. They lose half their power when you do so. For example, I'm frustrated because nobody's buying. This must mean nobody wants what I'm offering. See how sneaky that is? But now you can deal with it if you're completely honest and you just drag it out into the light, kicking and screaming, right? Step 3, reframe and find proof that you're wrong, or at least your brain is wrong. So we're going to flip this story. Ask yourself, what if that's not true? What if the truth is better? Like way better. For example, no one buying right now doesn't mean no one wants what I'm offering. It means I haven't found the precise messaging that grabs attention. Or maybe I haven't explained the offer clearly to my ideal client yet. So when you're in that place of nothing's working, right? Nobody wants what I'm offering. That is your chimp reacting. I've talked about this before, these 3 aspects of your brain, which is the chimp, the human, and the computer. The chimp is that very primal, hardwired survival mechanism, and you can never get rid of it. It's always going to react to something that feels like a threat to you. And so when you are not getting validation and confirmation that people want what you have to offer, which can be interpreted as a validation of self, but I hope that that's not happening, that triggers the chimp response, right? The human response, well, let's jump to the computer. The computer is the habits. And so you could start falling into, in conjunction with your chimp, because it does consult the computer, falling into a pattern of habits that are not helpful for you. However, you can program the computer with new habits, right, that are actually helpful for you, just like the 7-minute shift. Now, the human part of this this trio of friends here, the human is the true you. This is the part of you that just wants to move on and do good things and make progress and experience life. What we can do is say, when we're feeling like nobody wants what I'm offering, this just isn't working, I'm not cut out for this, that's the chimp responding, right? And you can look at it logically and say, okay, what's really going on here? Does that really mean that nobody in the world wants what I'm offering? Of course not, right? This is the human part of you that can look at it and say, that's not what really is really going on. So back it up with real world proof. So maybe a past client sent you a thank you note. Maybe someone said your last post really shifted their way of thinking. Maybe somebody thanked you today for something that you helped them with, right? Look for evidence, and it's all around you. I know that it is, of the complete opposite of what your brain is giving you right now. Okay? Finding this proof of good things happening in your business helps you clear emotional resistance, and really quickly. Step 4, choose a better feeling and anchor it. So now that you've loosened up the old story, it's time to pick a new emotion, a new way of feeling. Ask yourself, what would I rather feel right now? And maybe it's excitement. Maybe it's a calm certainty. Maybe it's relief, right? And then find a memory when you actually felt that way. And pull that up and hold that feeling. Remember how excited you felt when you booked your first ever paying client, or a memory of being with family and friends where you were laughing and just so at ease. Bring those memories back, full color, full vibrancy, and hold it for as long as you can. This memory and the feeling it brings can be pulled into this current moment and applied. It doesn't even have to be related to business. It can be any part of your life, right? Whatever brings true happiness. Feel it in your chest, your hands, your whole entire body. Anchor into it. This is the secret to raising your vibration. Step 5, step into your future self, or I like to say you 2.0. Picture this version of you who already has what you want right now. Visualize opening your inbox to a flood of paid invoices. See yourself smiling as ideal clients thank you for changing their lives. Borrow that energy, borrow that posture. This is part of vibrational alignment for success. And because that version of you, that's who you already are. You know, one of the stories that I share that goes way back years and years and years ago, when I first started my own business. I was writing copy on the side of my full-time job. And there's multiple parts to this story, and I won't tell all of them so that I don't take up too much of your time today, but I do want to share some of them because this is kind of what I'm talking about right here when we're borrowing these emotions, right? From a memory or even just something that we imagine. So I was working full time, super, super worn out, super stressed, not super healthy. I was getting sick a lot and due to the stress. And I just needed relief. I just needed to feel some calm and peace. I was going through a divorce. I was being stalked. I had a lot of negativity in my life, and I was really just keeping my head above water. And I reached this kind of point of desperation where I said, you know what? I'm just going to imagine. I'm going to close my eyes. I was sitting on the sofa. It was this eggplant colored sofa. And in my living room, my cat was sitting next to me. It was curled up next to me. And it was really late at night. I want to say it was probably like between 11 and midnight. I'd worked all day. I had a late shift. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to close my eyes for just a minute. And I'm going to imagine this peaceful mountain valley where everything is beautiful, calm, serene, and it's all good. Because I can't do anything else right now. That literally was where I was at. I can't do anything else right now. And this was before I got into really understanding the basis of manifesting. Now, I certainly knew of it and liked the idea of it, but this was not what I was attempting to do at this point in time. And so every free moment that I had, even at work when I would sit in the break room for my paltry 30 minutes of reprieve when I got it, I would close my eyes and just imagine this beautiful mountain valley. And one day a woman came into where the place that I worked, where I managed print services, and she needed help with a brochure that was for a nonprofit organization, I should say, that helped women who had experienced abuse or really difficult situations. And I helped her with cleaning the brochure up, and as far as like copy as well as design, and then we were going to, of course, print them. And we had finalized the order, meaning getting everything input, and she was going to come back later to pick up the brochures. And she'd walked away, but then she came back over to me and she said, we have all of this money and no one to give it to. And then she just walked off. And I thought, huh. Because even though I was helping her with all of this, I never shared any of my personal situation. And I certainly didn't say anything in that moment, but I had been thinking as she was sharing with me about this nonprofit. And so I applied for a grant with them, and I was awarded a grant. And I used that to put into my side gig business of writing copy for people. So that was step one. And then fast forward, I'll give you the really short version here. Fast forward because I wanted to move I was out in the Southwest. I had gone out there with my husband, and of course we divorced. And then I wanted to get back to the East Coast into the mountains of North Carolina. And there was no way that I could do that. I had a household. I had 2 teenagers. I did not have the money to move and so on. And fast forward to a family member out of the blue sending me a check for $12,000 that had just been set aside in an account for many, many years. And then part of that money I gave to my kids. And then part of that money I used to move across the US back to the mountains of North Carolina. So there are many more manifestations that occurred in between then and now. But let me just say, I'm sitting here in my office looking out my window into my beautiful little mountain valley. All right. So back to this topic at hand. So step 6, raise your vibration fast and easy. So now lift your energy even higher. Here's a trick. Create "wouldn't it be incredible if" statements. Like, wouldn't it be incredible if 3 new perfect fit clients showed up this week? Wouldn't it be incredible if someone paid me early without me even asking? Wouldn't it be incredible if I got an unexpected opportunity that just lights me up? Say it out loud. Smile when you say them. You're tuning into your radio station to hell yes, the core of manifestation techniques that actually work. Step 7, lock it in with physical movement. Okay, this is the last step, and this is an overview. You can get much more detail and space to write out and work through these exercises in the book. But this part is non-negotiable. You must do it. And in the book, I give several different variations of how to do this, but you need to integrate this new energy. Stand up. Imagine walking across the room toward you 2.0, who already has the business success that you want. And when you physically step into that version of you, notice where you feel the excitement, certainty, or belief in your body. And you can draw an imaginary circle around that spot or a box, whatever works for you. You can expand it, make it really big, pull it closer, condense it down, whatever makes it feel the strongest. Because your brain learns through movement and perspective shifts, and this seals the change. The bottom line, you can shift your state of mind in just 7 minutes a day. I've done this in the car, at least parts of it, because I can't take my hands off the steering wheel, or shouldn't, to draw that circle, right? And clearly I'm not getting up and moving. But I have used one hand to do that and thrown it out the window. So when you change your inner energy, your outer results shift, not because you worked harder, because you shifted your state of mind, your emotions, and your awareness. And that allows you to see opportunities all around you. And you naturally draw matching events to you. If you want more clients, more clarity, more opportunities, faster, start with this. Check in daily, clear what's heavy, step into the you who already has it. Simple, actionable, and unstoppable. And if you want the full deep dive into this process, you can grab a copy of the 7-Minute Shift on Amazon. As I said, it's a full-size workbook with space for you to write inside, and you can start growing your business and your dreams in just 7 minutes a day. Your next level is waiting. Hey, thanks so much for joining me for the Solo Coach podcast. It means so much to me that someone out there is listening. Now, if you know it's time to do something different about your business, and you know if it is, consider joining me for my Happy and Successful Business Mastermind, where you can get clarity, support, and a plan. I'll leave details in the notes below. I also want to share a free resource for you. If you haven't already subscribed to my newsletter, Find Coaching Clients, I encourage you to do so. I'll deliver to your inbox tips and strategies that make finding coaching clients for your business much easier. I'll see you next time.